and we should be live.
Alright, well, let's give it.
Yep, well, let's just get started. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to WAYPN. You're not with me.
I have to wait for the thing.
No, you can just join with me and then put it up.
Yeah, you have to start with your one. It's not, hi, I'm Sunny. That's not how it starts.
I said, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Weekly WAYPN. I'm Cal.
And I'm Sunny.
A.K.A.
Henry and Sangita.
Okay, good. I'm glad that we're on board. Anyway, so we have almost 50 entries today. So
very big entry.
We might be speeding over some of them, guys. Hello, Penguin.
Penguin.
Yes.
I believe that's John.
Yeah, that's John Gass, I do believe.
John Ross.
John Ross?
Yeah.
Not John Gass?
Not John.
I don't know where I get John Gass from.
We do have a John Gass.
We do have a
John Gass.
All right, well, with that, I'm just going to put this one into the stream room. And guys, if you are on the Discord, please feel free to say hello.
Yes, join into the stream lounge and share with us your thoughts.
I do believe it's just called the stream room rather than
the stream room, well, whatever it's called.
Yeah, all right. Well, anyway, let's get to it. So we're starting off with Tia. And Tia's doing a bit more work. I wonder why the Futurama people are on this. Can you read it?
Where's the Futurama?
Look, just read the post, woman.
Okay, so on my Abaddon Glam Up, I realized he was much too tall. So I removed some of his shins and I sculpted a wolf pelt over his cape. Then I added some heads hanging on a chain around his waist and tried to sculpt those tab things that used to hang off his 30k shoulder armor. Also, I added a few looky-loos, who I assume are just there to see what's making all the noise. I think the metal one is telling Abaddon to bite his shiny metal. Yeah. Okay,
so I do think that this part of it right here makes him a bit too tall. It makes him, not quite what he should be, because he's quite tall as it is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's quite tall.
He's a very big model in this one. But yeah, so I think that the base needs a bit more work. I do like the little Futurama characters, obviously. So I'm just thinking, what else do you think really needs to be done with it? I think I'm going to throw it to you. I like the heads on the chain. I think that looks good.
Yeah, I do think it is looking a little messy with too much going on.
Yeah,
and that cape, it's a good effort, but I think it could be sculpted to a bit more refined with the shape and everything.
Well, I think one of the things that you might want to do is Green Stuff World has a thing where you can just get the it's a sort of texture rub sort of thing, so you'll put it on it and it will give the appearance of fur on whatever you press it into, sort of
like the texture rollers or
something? Yeah, but see, it's not a texture roller, it's just like this pad sort of thing. We've got it, so
okay.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. Let's take a look. What else? Yeah, I think mostly what it needs is some cleanup. I wonder who the guy next to him is. But is there anything else extra that you would like to add to this?
Not too much. I think thinning the paint would be just lost.
Yeah.
In the post.
Scroll down. You were just mindlessly doing it.
No, yeah, because I went all the way to the top of the thing because I accidentally clicked on View Insights.
Yes.
And I had to click back, so it go all the way to the top.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. I do think painting wise, we need to be a bit more clean and more smooth as well.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I think maybe less elements in the future conversion.
Yeah, because I think like it feels very cluttered.
Yeah, it feels quite cluttered. There's not much of the visual hierarchy or something to focus on because there's a lot of things going.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, but I can tell you were just having fun with it.
All right, so next up we've got John.
Oh, Mr. Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
Next group of German infantry done for my bolt action project. Pretty nice.
I just want to double check how much of them is being covered up by the chat. Yeah, no, they're looking good. So historical accuracy is its own thing, so I don't know one way or another if they're looking correct with this yellow spotting, because a lot of the time I take a look at some of the historical ones and I'm like, that yellow spotting seems really off, and then they're like, here's a picture, and I'm like,
I see.
yeah.
There are lots of things that don't make sense at the start until you hear why it was done the way that it was done.
Yeah. So I think that the grass looks good. I do think one of the things that you might want to do from now on, you know how we've got that texture paste thing done up?
A Kaleidos clam.
Yeah, I think he wants to lay that down first, and one of the other ideas that we want to try out is our balloon idea for the static grass.
Yeah.
So I think like that's the only thing I look at and I say, this needs a bit of work, because I think the grass could be a bit improved because it's a bit all over the place. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think that
I
the
don't know.
tufts are bad, but you see how it doesn't have a general patterning. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
And it should be up a bit more. Like, that's the only thing I think that could be improved with these. I think they look very nice, but
It looks like one of those fields with the taller grasses, like because it's obviously not maintained because they're going through various terrains and things. I feel it actually looks good for what it is.
yeah, no, it looks great. But see, the whole idea is we're always trying to help people improve, and I think if we don't give people the appropriate level feedback, I don't think we're actually.
I'm saying because it's a historical,
Yeah,
and it's got that realistic expression of the terrain that they are in. At least it looks that way to me.
Yeah.
So...
I'm picking up what you're putting down. All right, shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah, we got José.
All right, and
he's got trays.
We'll just let you read out, and then we're going to skip over this one because there's a lot this week.
Okay, 8 hours worth of work with an airbrush, 60 models / sub-assemblies with at least one base coat on, and 5 double-sided tokens fully painted and varnished. Now back to the frog dog. Well, it seems that he's gotten a good amount of progress.
He's put in a lot of work,
Yeah.
but not like usually we would talk a bit more about this, but the one thing that I will say is just take note, guys. If you're going to be preparing a lot of stuff, note how he's done different tones and that sort of thing. Your airbrush doesn't just have to be for priming or zenithal. You can put a lot more work into it, And
I think like the fact that he's got like the different trays for the different stages is actually a great way to sort of organize your projects when you're doing batch painting, and that's something we take away from.
Next up, we've got Tia again.
Yes.
And I think this model is a lot better.
Yeah.
Because the visual hierarchy seems much more correct, because we got these very long legs, right? But it all sort of centers around this head area, right? I'm not quite sure that the microwave is the best, place to take photos, but I can see why she's doing it. The whole point is, try and get some clean photos if you can. We've got a what do you call it?
A shot.
Yeah,
on how to make a light box.
And essentially, it's just get some cardstock and point 2 desk lights at your miniature, and you're done. But yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. I I think with the way that this one is, it does look more basic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just because something looks more basic than something else doesn't mean that it's worse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that this looks quite nice.
Yeah, I think it's a bit more clean. There's something
yeah,
for
a
your
lot more clean.
eyes to focus on, and yeah, I
Because,
think this is much better improvement.
well, what my eyes usually do is this. So I usually go here, then I go to the wings, and then I go to here, right? Whereas with the Abaddon one, I sort of went like this. I went, ooh,
Where to see, where to look.
yeah, and I just became visually exhausted.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, just very neat, very clean, does its job.
Yes. Ooh, welcome, Terraforming Studios.
We hope that you enjoy our production of going through 50 different posts
on our Facebook group. Yes.
All right, so next up,
we have the person that don't love us.
Oh, Genuine Vision doesn't love us because they didn't make any specific comment about this. Would you like to read it out?
Okay. The tiniest of whips, tilting shield and cyber eagle for the Constantine Valdor giveaway model I've been working on stream recently. Spent way too much time on this wee trinket and minor element of the whole model, but I'm rather happy how it turned out.
Well, see, the thing is, do people like watching you do that little bit?
Apparently, I think they just like watching him do it. Pretty much anything.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, so I do think...
Oh, it's Joe. It's Joe.
Oh, Joe, sorry.
It's your favorite Joe off
Sutton Adventure.
You better have an adventure for us today, Joe.
Well, we will see. There is a lot of posts, so I wouldn't be surprised if I got lost in it. I very much like everything about this. I love the scrolled writing that he's done.
No.
It's just so beautiful. Like, when you look at it...
It almost looks like Chinese ancient calligraphy sort of thing,
it does in a way. It does in a way, but it feels like much more scrolled writing. And when you... Because you got to remember, this thing will be smaller than a fingernail.
Yeah, I don't know how he managed to get that sort of thing. Because there's line weight involved.
It's evil foreign magic. That's what it is.
All right. No, we'll just chop it up to that.
Yeah, that's my thoughts anyway.
Evil magics.
Yeah. All right. So next up we have
a lance. Sometimes you have to find that one miniature that puts you back in the mood to get busy painting again. Look out! I have 2 more in the wings. Wow, this looks really good.
Well, what I really like
is a tree lord.
Yeah. What I really like is if you take a look at the zoom in on his face. Oh, he's done the yellow eyes and the blue area surrounding it.
Yeah.
Like, that's great use of color theory. Blue eyeshadow, yellow eyes, and then green beard.
Yeah.
Just spot on.
Yeah, and that's an analogous theme, actually.
Yeah, it is.
And I like how he's got like the blue sort of facial...
Well, extended analogous, but yes.
You know, it's nice because it's kind of like a facial marking if he's going out into war or something. It's like one of those Viking eye makeup thing.
Oh, I don't know about being a Viking eye makeup or anything, but what I do know is that it really makes the yellow pop. Yeah. I think it looks really nice. I like pretty much everything about this. It's a quick and dirty model, but what I really love is his basing in this one. So basing hasn't exactly been Lance's strong suit, but here, you know, he's got a little bit of texture paste, right? Or, you know, sand, however he's done it, right? And he's got some rocks. He's got a few flowers over here. And grass on the backside. And, like, it's not overdone. It's perfect. It's absolutely beautiful. And it just really helps the model pop out that much more. You know, I think that's absolutely fantastic. So I really have to applaud him on this because that's a big step up for him. The only thing I would say is try and extend that dirt all the way to the edge of the base, because that's the only downside I see with that. Everything else I really like. Yeah,
I think it's a well done job.
All right, so next up,
we got something quite fancy.
It's a base.
It's a Larry.
It's a Larry.
It's a Larry.
I see.
Playing with fluorescent. This is a brick base I made with a texture roller and painted with Max Darth Black shown earlier. Added white ink mixed with alcohol to flow into the cracks. I couldn't see them at first, lol. Then added green fluorescent paint, mixed 2 drops of paint, 2 drops water, 1 drop airbrush thinner, and some glow in the dark pigment. So it's bright in regular light. Fluorescence fluoresces well under UV and then stays glowy in the dark. Think I should put a second coat of glowy on before I tidy up the black?
All I can think is, well,
It's very
obviously,
glowy.
we're getting a preview to his OnlyFans because we can see his feet. Nice feet shots.
Feet. But anyhow.
Oh my god. Why feet?
Probably should
Why
not
did it
have
have to
said
be
that.
feet? Probably, but the thing is, I got to keep myself going. We've gotten through 5 of 50 and we usually take an hour to 2 hours. All right.
Okay, next we've got Paul Inman. We have not seen from Paul for such a long.
Well, he's been getting set up, so.
So we got 5 months since I last painted. Yes, Paul, 5 months is very long. I last painted anything. I finally get to sit down and enjoy the hobby area in the new apartment, and it's looking so good.
Yeah, no,
Really nice.
It does look quite beautiful.
I love the studio light thingy that he's got going
Oh
on.
yeah, no, that
man.
seems really good. Plus,
Fancy.
against the clean background. But you know what it seems like? This seems like the kind of studio that would be at Games Workshop back in the 90s.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, because take a look at like the glass wall there.
Yeah,
Doesn't
very
that glass?
I like that glass wall.
It
there.
feels very 90s, doesn't
And
it?
he's got 2 very atas chairs over there, man.
Yes, one's for his daughter, I do believe.
I would love that chair. That chair looks so good.
We bought you such a chair.
No,
and
you
then
did not. There was no chair bought. I
Yeah,
used
the gaming
existing
chair. The gaming chair we got for you.
No, you did not get me any gaming chair. That's the gaming chair you've always had.
No, I had a gaming chair, and we got a gaming chair for you.
No, you did. That's for your bro. Because you
No,
and bro
he's
used to paint.
he got the other one for himself down there. You can't even remember things.
Honey,
Zero love.
The chair was here before I came over.
The chair.
It's
okay.
true.
All right, next up, we've got a Calvinoni.
A Calvinoni. Back in a slow way, did one cultist from Otherworld Miniatures. They are closing up, and all the minis going to new homes by the end of the month.
That's unfortunate. It's never good when somebody's passion project has to be shut down. That ain't cool, man.
But Cal always has some very interesting models.
He does really go out of his way to find interesting models. So the only thing that I could say is it needs a bit more of a pop of some different colors, because currently it's.
Oh, that's very interesting. I love the head. It looks like an alien head.
Yeah, you know what it looks like?
Nice
it
head.
looks a lot like a dark elf cultist.
You think?
Yeah, the dark elves with their sort of squiddly heads. It does look a bit like that. But I feel like the hands and feet, they don't pop enough.
I do also think because a lot of the colors are very muted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so you need something to pop out a bit.
Yeah. And a little bit more elements in the base as well.
Yeah. We'll see. His feet are actually imprinted into that dirt. I don't mind that, but I'd need the feet to be a bit more. Maybe some sticks in there, and that'd be enough.
You've got many comments about feet today. Yes.
Is that why you sniff your own jacket?
Yeah.
You call me the weirdo.
Ugh.
All right. Oh, next up is Member Monday.
Is it Member Monday?
I should click insights so that I can ruin everything.
Yeah, ruin everything.
All right, so guys, it has been the first time in a long time. First time in a long time that we haven't had anybody new. So I'll read all of this one out. It's Member Monday. # Member Monday. This is the first time this has happened in a long time. No new members. And that's totally okay. Infinite growth isn't what we're aiming for. So what are we aiming for? Church, or at least the idea of it. I want a place where status and standing, wealth and power, and prosperity and poverty don't matter. We're all on equal footing, based off one thing, hobbying. See, there's a particular moment I want to digitally repeat. There was this guy in a tattered shirt, baggy pants, unkempt hair, animatedly talking to a guy in a full suit with the hair to go with it. They were passionately talking about Magic the Gathering. That's what I want here, to be a place where people can tell jokes, where people from left and right can sit next to one another and paint, where a wide tent, as some people would call it. But here's the thing. You are doing this for more than yourself. I had a friend tell me that they occasionally browse this group. They don't paint miniatures. They don't make terrain. So why would they? As a break from the world. They said that every time they came here, it was just painting stuff, and that was a breath of fresh air. We can't always be here, but I will keep writing these messages each Monday, lest I forget, and hope that this will help with the community spirit. But I think if I left tomorrow, this place would be okay, because it has you here.
No.
No, but I'm serious, right? It might
No.
be a very sort of softy sort of talking point, but what I am saying is, with all of this, it's a place where I think you guys are actually giving more than you realize. Just take a look at Facebook and see all of the conflict and division, and people can come on here and they can just breathe in deeply and enjoy just knowing somebody's going to be like, I love elves. You know, like, just look at that.
You can fart in peace.
Yeah, well, like, the thing is, you come on to the next thing and it's like, look, I've done more for my, D&D lady. I've done this, I've done that. You see what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, and you don't have to be worried about it.
Well, we should probably talk about what Jack Brown has done.
Yes, but also Chris Lee says, great to see some glow-in-the-dark paints in use. Kudos.
Yes.
All right, so...
some progress today. Highlighted hair and leather, more white on cloak lining, shield painted, varnished, and ready for metallics. We'll need to do a bit more on the base. I think something I didn't talk about the last time is this very clean black lining along the...
Oh, yeah, the black lining,
and
yes.
it's just like, I think it was just something that was in my eye, and I was just... did not register it for some reason.
Yeah.
And then now I'm just like, oh my gosh, look at that clean black lining. That is very difficult to, get control. So I'm really impressed.
But I also like that Jack listened to the feedback we had and just took this shot here so that we could sort of have that shot
red
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I think
Perfect.
you can see how the colours come in with one another. Would you like to read the comment by Chris, or did I read it before? I can't remember.
I don't think you've read any comment.
Did I not read the comment from
Oh,
Chris?
no, yeah, you did read the comment. You literally just read it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just
you're sleep
literally
deprived.
going mad. Oh, it's okay.
But yeah, I think the only point of comparison... Oh, Penguin say, love the red on... I know.
that
It's like velvet. Oh my...
It's come up so nicely.
Have you guys, maybe you've seen it or maybe you haven't, I've saw this model on Pinterest, and it was a Space Marine. I think it was 30K, and the way that they painted the red armor, it looked just like velvet. It was interesting. If I could just find the picture, I think this just reminded me exactly of that. Probably featured it in one of our videos actually.
Okay.
But anyhow, I think the white could use a bit of shading.
Yeah, it does seem quite stark in some areas, but remember that white often doesn't come up well on camera. So that's a point to remember, because that is a thing. Yeah, the only other thing I would say with the base, I feel like he's done in some little turquoise bits and he's got some of that white left on, so I think maybe just hit up some things with the base, but let's just remember that this is a whip, not a finished product, so we're going to move on. Alright, so next up we've got more Jack Brown.
Forgot I had this guy 80% done, ready to do metallic.
Oh, you know what? We'll skip over this because he does up the metallics later.
Yeah, we'll talk about
and when he does up the metallics, they look absolutely beautiful.
Don't get me too excited.
Anyway.
We've got John
Yep.
Ross once again.
Yeah.
Another group of German infantry are done for my bolt action project. I'm probably close to 1,000 points by now.
You know, taking a look at them, they with the way that the grass is, it reminds me very much of sort of Vietnam era soldiers with the sort of grass sticking up everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? It's like one of those fields where you've got the...
But like, see, I don't feel like Europe has as many of those.
Don't they? Like hilly areas, maybe?
Yeah, but not the sort of wild, crazy grasses like we have, you know? Like, Asia's a lot more untamed than, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But yeah, they're looking good. So I'd say the exact same things that I was going to say before. I think that the rifles have come up well. That patterning is there again. So I feel like that patterning must be historical. And I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I can or would say about these. I like the contrast between the uniform and that, but the thing is, it is very much what it is because they're historical troopers. So yeah, is there anything you'd like to add with them?
Not really. I think it does look a bit glossy, though.
It does look a bit glossy. Yeah, you're right. You might want to hit it with the matte. That's also true. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much it. I think everything else looks good to me.
Yeah. All right. So next up we have
it's Alex.
Alex. Oh my god. Why does everybody have a better, area than me?
It's probably the table.
It's probably the table. Okay.
It's all about the tabling powers.
I see.
Finally reorganized my painting space. I think this is much better. If there is a mini you want to see closer closer look at, let me know. Now I can go get on with actually painting some minis. Tomorrow I am exhausted.
Yeah. No. Oh
yeah,
my god.
Cleaning painting room is hard, man.
Look at all of these things.
I like that big what is that, a hammerhead? A tower hammerhead? I don't know.
Back there.
Yeah, this one. You see this? Yeah, that one.
I think that's actually a Star Wars droid something or other.
Droid.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because see, those are droid troopers in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of different things.
The ship, it's that ship he did a long time ago.
Yeah, no, it's so...
I thought it was meant for a friend. Why is it still with him?
Oh, the plot thickens. Oh, and there's Baba Yaga's house.
Oh, yeah, Baba Yaga house.
Yeah, because it's got the chicken
feet, and then you got the, what is that one, the falcon?
Yeah, Falcon, the Millennium Falcon.
The Millennium Falcon.
Falcon.
Falcon?
Yes.
It's not Falcon?
Falcon.
Is it not Falcon?
Falcon.
Falcon?
But yeah, no, it's like some of the times it is an achievement just to get your stuff together.
Oh man.
Man, he needs to get those industrial shells that we've got.
Yeah,
but
our industrial shells are better than yours. Yes.
Just stop.
Yeah,
the older ones, not the newer ones. The newer ones.
Ones, they're actually the same, but for some reason the shelves.
They're not.
I know the shelves do not fit on the older models,
even though they're lower quality than newer shells.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well.
So he needs to get the old blue
something.
Blue something. All right. So next up is us. So if you guys would like to give us some feedback on this project, because we've been going along with it, I think here on this one. Would you like to read it out? And I'll just... This one's
It's
finished.
not yet Terrain Tuesday. But here is a terrain update. Trees are at stage 1, but everything else is finished.
So the craters are done. So we added
really like
the
dust.
The dust to this. I think that came up pretty well. Let's take a look.
After everything is done, it's so sturdy.
Don't have to yell.
Sorry. It's so sturdy. You could throw it at something and it'll...
It is actually pretty sturdy, but
pretty
I actually like this one. Just like those little bits of the tile grout really made it come to life quite a bit. Because it feels very real in this way, doesn't it? Like, yeah. And This is
I like
just
the trees because they look dead
mm.
and eerie.
Oh, these ones weren't actually finished. We hadn't put the powder over them, so
No,
I
we
lied.
took videos of.
Oh, this was
This is the
before
whip.
This is before we put the powder on those. Was it
No,
before
the
we put?
powder's already done on that one. You can see all the
Oh,
white speckles that settled
you
into the
might be right
cracks.
on that. Right. But yeah. So let us
Move on to Mr. Jose.
Jose.
I finished the frog dog off and painted up some tokens that were hard to read when just bare plastic. I started work on 2 sets of God tier Skullbreaker, one for me and one for my 7-year-old opponent. He owns 2 warbands. His dad says he's talking about painting the other himself. We will see. He's shown no interest in art of any kind so far. Oh dear.
Well,
Or maybe he just needs a buddy to get him excited.
I think that this frog dog might be like, I think these are they are.
Yeah, they do seem to have tail. I think you're right. They might be rats.
Yeah, no, it's just
Or a million capybaras.
yeah, but it seems very disgusting because I think they're popping out of it. Yeah, see, out of here.
Ew.
Yeah, but
Look at
also those eyes
the
look quite.
black eyes.
Because it's almost as if you can see that brown within
Yeah, like,
them.
isn't it like how you see teddy bear eyes?
Yeah,
look
kind
like
of.
that.
Yeah, it does kind of look like teddy bear eyes.
But it does add to the creep factor.
Yeah,
it's
it
just
certainly does add to the creep factor.
Let us not look at it anymore.
Yeah, well, I think you should give commentary on it rather than not look at it anymore.
Well, I think he's done a good job. Sorry,
Yeah.
penguins love the red on the cloak. We did.
Yes,
Did we say that? Oh,
yeah.
okay. Sorry. Yeah. I think there's nothing. I don't know what I would improve about this because he's gotten it all down pat.
Yeah.
You know, and I really like the water effect, if especially on the water or whatever it is that this quite real.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I don't know if they're meant to be like puppies or something. I don't.
Let's not focus on that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the focus of this model.
It's
the
got a
butt. It's about the butt.
Alright, but yeah, I think that the tokens came up well, but I do think you could put a wash in them or something, or even put some tile grout on them and then clean it off. Yeah, to fill in those areas because obviously
you can use a grey tile grout like we did, and that would be very dark.
You could use a white tile grout and just have them be white. You know, it doesn't matter.
I feel like it'll pop more.
Yes. So Penguin has something to say. Returning to the comments of the grass, the photos I've seen in Central and East Europe show the grass wildly in late summer, spring, often reaching knee high. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, told you.
He always has to be. Speaking of, there's someone who doesn't love us anymore. So you have to comment on this.
Well, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna leave you to comment.
No!
I'm gonna have a nap.
No! Oh, someone's here. They said hi. He said hi.
Oh, you did. He did actually say hi. I thought you were trying to. I'm going back to sleep, so you can comment on the dwarf.
Yeah, well, you know, the beard is coming up really nice. In fact, I think I see a bit of blue in the shadowing, or is that just my eyes playing?
There might be, maybe. Hard to tell.
Well, it's coming along really.
I just
really love that beard.
Nicely.
Beard is so good. We've already made comments about the face. In fact, I think it's gotten a little bit less texture this time because he's really pumped up the reds.
Yeah, he has.
It's very nice.
Well, I think it's time for us to move on. Because he doesn't love us. Hold up. So the next one was our episode on Planescape Lore. And it hasn't exactly taken off. But it's not done that badly. But the thing is, we put a massive amount of effort into this one. I thought because we ended up re-recording this one.
Yeah.
I think that
I did have a bit of trouble, I think, finding some.
well, yeah, but
bit
anyway, like,
tired.
check it out, guys. I think you'll like it.
Mm.
All right, and after that, see, here it is with the
Ooh. Oh, hey, he's gone for a gold cross.
yeah.
I actually thought he might do like silver.
No, I think it looks good. Like, I understand why you say silver because there's not the contrast, but I think that he does this up more, or maybe my memory's playing tricks on me because I think that the gold comes up a lot more later on. But I tell you what, it's very clean. I very much like the very basic basing with this, right? Just a tuft of grass. There's a leaf here, and it's nothing too complicated, right? It just is what it is.
It just works.
Yes, it does just work. It is Todd Howard. But like the thing is, you look at all of it, and it's quite nice, and it's very bold.
I think the part I like the most is the staff and the way he sort of done that sort of fade of the bright top and then goes down. I think that's quite lovely.
All right, Raven says, "Ha." John says, "I like Planescape, even though I know nothing about D&D. Well, there is a whole game, if you guys are interested in Planescape, called Planescape Torment. I'd absolutely recommend it without hesitation. It's been years since I played it, but I think it will probably have only improved with time. All right, let us move on. It's an update with John.
With the armor. Yeah. Metals painted. Only thing left is to finish the base. After dry brushing some light grays on the flagstones, it looked frosted. Going to fill in around the stones and try a snow effect. Let me see, what do you say?
What he say?
Light gray around the flagstones. Oh, yeah, it does look a little bit
Yeah, I saw that with the last one. So, he's done the metallics. I would really like if he pushed the gold a bit with her, because everything else seems so pushed. She seems so much more character level. So I think like just pushing some of that would look very nice. Yeah. I don't mind this plain backing of steel, but yeah, just because everything else seems so pushed on her. Like, why not? Yeah. Why the truck not do that?
Yeah.
But yeah. So guys, just so you know, if we're a bit faster than usual with some of these things, no, that's because we have to get through so much.
50 posts or more.
Well, not quite 50 posts, but yeah. So next up we have
you.
Oh, okay. It's would you like to read it out while I
It Whip Wednesday.
It Whip Wednesday.
Yeah. So the buildings need some extra little bits, but that's all of it now on Throwback Thursday. I'm going to post it all up and put it into a catalog because it's almost done now. Doing some other tree bases now and doing up some of the spare base holes, and hopefully we'll see it all done tonight, Tuesday, as I'm writing and scheduling this. But in the meantime, I got a question for you. What are you painting now? Make a post about it.
Yeah, so I'm just going to move on from this because the Thursday I think I show everything, and we'll talk about it there. So Raven is Marvel Crisis. Come on, help me out here.
Raven is James.
Yeah, so James,
who's doing the Marvel Crisis.
send us a message on Discord if you would like to join us.
Huzzah! Next, we've got another one from
Singing in the Rain.
We'll soon see what is this about.
Okay.
Cal Vanoni, Barrow White from Otherworld Miniatures. Okay, I think I kind of get it because of the pose.
Oh yeah, I'm singing in the rain.
Because it kind of looks like an umbrella. Like if you just sort of look at it first glance, and then it's just like, oh yeah, it's a sword. does feel that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I do feel that he needs to work on contrast though, because he sort of blends into the base. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the one issue that I'd say happens with this guy.
Yeah, like even the skin tone and the browns, like it's a little too homogeneous. Like it needs to be a bit more something contrast.
Yes, I 100% agree with that.
But other than that, it's perfectly fine.
I do think that if you wanted to keep it within this color scheme, you could put rust on the metals to sort of...
No, I wouldn't, because it's already very bright.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, just keep it all within this idea that it's just all very monotone. But yeah, let us move on.
Larry.
We moved on to more of color.
And,
What has happened? Yes, I know who Larry is, thank you. Woman, there you... It'll depend on the loading.
Okay, did some base work today. First, I finished the glowing brick base, added more of the glowy paint, and touched up the black on the brick. Now I just have to touch up the spoopy little guy I plan to put on it so it matches. Then I added some mud and water to the bases for the clone commandos before gluing them on, so I can proceed to the rest of what I plan to do. Lots of experimental to me.
Lots of experimental.
Yeah, to me. Stuff like, I also added some AK wet effects to the left leg on the green one to see if I can simulate being wet from rain. But I'm not sure I did it right. Or if...
Let's see with the green one. I gotta find the green one. Okay. Where is...
Simulate being wet, but I'm not sure if I did it right or even if it even comes out in the pictures. Sorry, they're a little blurry. My hands are shaky because I'm sick as a dog. It's not...
Larry has had that a few times now this year, hasn't
has
he? I do believe so. I think he was sick not too long ago. I can't remember.
It's not bad, but I can't call it a good yet. PSA, wear a mask for the wet effects stuff, folks.
The wet effects?
Apparently.
Okay,
Didn't realize it was needed. Probably the smell.
Oh, maybe.
He said he needed an inhaler.
Okay.
Had to go for the inhaler. Or maybe because he's asthmatic.
I don't know, but I didn't have...
difficult.
Is he using AK? Which one is he
using? He's using AK. AK wet effects.
I don't know.
I do not. This is news to us, man.
Because my one was very similar to PVA. Maybe they've done an update to their formula or something.
I think the smell can be... As for the wet effect, the flooring definitely...
Alright, so...
But these Mandalorians?
No, I do believe these are the old school stormtroopers. The ones from the Clone Wars. I do like one which has been going around where goes it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then he goes, this isn't right, and then he goes, no, General, and then the starfighter just screams
that's
overhead.
Not one of ours.
Yeah.
And then after that,
he goes, yes, General. And then he goes...
Anakin flies by and then say, is that Anakin?
Yes, General.
Anakin! No.
But
you
yeah,
found
so...
it quite funny.
I think that the mud effects are coming up well. I really like them, but I feel like something's missing, but I can't tell you what it is, and it's very frustrating to me. Because I see that you've added some green to it, right? Which is the correct thing to do for mud, to desaturate it. Because often with the mud, people use more raw umber style paints. And like the thing is, mud is much more a sort of greeny color on average. Often because it will be mixed with grass. But yeah, so yes. Raven has said they are clone commanders.
Clone command.
So yeah, I think we will move on, but the mud will haunt.
The mud is looking muddy, my dude.
All right, so no, it's like there's something missing from it, so I don't know what
It's
the
sludgy.
missing.
It does look sludgy.
It does look sludgy.
And it's Paul Inman once again.
It is, and he's actually painting.
First in 5 months. Not quite finished yet. A little work on gold areas, shoes, beard, and face. And he will be rebased as well, but not too shabby. He kind of reminds me of the guy from Castlevania.
Which one?
I don't even remember the name.
The guy who sets it all up in season 2, where he's
he's constantly finding the infinite corridor. That guy.
Yeah. He's just like, will you please shut up?
Or something like that.
Yes.
I don't know what he's.
I always remember him.
It's Count Germain.
Oh yeah, Count at your service, Count
Germain. Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, he does kind of look like him, kind of.
I think he's gotten it really nice. Like,
yeah, I think he's looking good.
Is this the outfit of the people who are like the announcers of the royal
Town crier or no?
something?
I don't think so.
Crier?
I think he's meant to be some sort of nobility, if not king, because that's a scepter of rulership sort of thing.
Scepter of rulership.
Yeah, but we will see. I
think it looks really nice.
It does look really nice, but I feel like the skin is quite pale and currently lacks a little bit of depth.
Well, lots of kings were sickly.
Yes, they were. Fair enough. But we will move on because we do not have...
It's Robert Mayer.
Robert Mayer.
Is it Mayer or Mayer? How do I say it?
I don't know.
You're the Englishman here.
No, I'm an Australian, mate. I don't know how to speak no English.
Lieutenant Titus. From the board game Space Marine. There's a board game called Space Marine?
Yeah, the board game called Space Marine is based off the video game Space Marine.
Not just 40K?
No, it's called Space Marine. It's about a Space Marine.
What do you do in Space Marine?
You fight the enemies of the Emperor.
Isn't that the same in 40K?
Yes.
Okay.
I do believe that I
do think his helmet is a bit too perfectly placed over there.
Yeah. I think with all of this, right, the only thing that I look at, right, is the blue seems very desaturated. Everything seems very desaturated.
Oh, I think this blue works.
I'm not saying it doesn't work, but you might want some more edge highlightings, and you definitely want something going on with your...
I do think the skin... It's very grey, actually.
It's very grey, yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say ashy.
Ashy means grey, honey.
Okay. Say so. I'll try and believe you.
People of the commentary, please.
All I remember was a certain person saying something looked very ash. But yes. Anyway, let us move on.
Oh, would you look at this?
That's interesting.
It's a Gareth Higgins Whip Wednesday. Trucking through these Aristia models by Corvus Belly, about 45 minutes to an hour spent on each one, using a slap chop hybrid approach. 4 left to finish and then paint and edge the base. This dude is really catching my...
Which dude? You're going to have to be more specific.
This werewolf guy.
Oh, you're talking about the first one? Yeah, they all look like they're from a cartoon.
Yeah, this one's Hellboy, right? The red one.
Well, one of them does look like Hellboy, yes, but I don't think they're meant... Oh my god.
This looks Zelda.
Oh no.
What is this?
I think this is meant to be like an Aboriginal caricature, but like an Aboriginal character, but it looks like a caricature. It's like got like a skull helmet and stuff. Oh no.
With a massive boomerang.
Yeah. But yeah, the guy with the very poofy hair, like the tartan, looks absolutely amazing.
But
I really like that.
The back doesn't have tartan.
I think that's pleated. I'm not sure, but we'll see, because I don't think any of these are finished just yet. He did say that he's going for the sort of a hybrid slap chop method. This guy is just so crazy with the way...
Look at these pants.
I know, right? It's just...
It's a parachute pants.
It is parachute pants. It is just the craziest design.
But with
and
brain texture.
Yeah, it does look like
the coraling.
yeah, but also I'm sorry with this, with the way that these things are on, you know what it reminds me of? I know that I'm not having to go at your paint job here, just saying with the model, it looks like, you know those party cups?
Yeah, no, I thought it looked a little bit like pudding.
Yeah, no, it looks like those like he's got two party cups
stuck
on him.
him.
You know, like somebody's glued it on him.
Oh my god. I didn't realize until I took a closer look and he's tried to get that effect where like his body has been very much scarred.
Yeah.
And then half his face and his scalp is still remains, or maybe it's some sort of a mask that he's got on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But then this next girl, I have no idea what's going on here. I think she's meant to be a sort of monkey girl.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, because you see how the feet grip onto the thing.
This is a weird set of models, man.
Yeah, it is. These models are freaking bizarre. I like this one, though.
Yeah,
this
I really
one looks
like this one.
very interesting. Like, it looks like some sort of mech, or you know what it looks like? You remember was it Alita Battle Angel where they fought in the Thunderdome?
The Sentinels, is it, or what?
No, when they were on the sort of Thunderdome sort of thing where they were
the
racing.
Arena.
Yeah, like that's.
It looks like.
Yeah, it looks like that. And this one just straight up looks like a Greek lady. Mm-hmm. Just like a normal Greek lady.
Yeah.
With like a sword and a shield.
A real hobcobble of peoples.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say hoplite.
What's that?
It's, never mind, it's a type of soldier.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so I thought you were trying to say hoplite and you're just like
hippopotamus.
Yeah, the hippopotamus.
The hippopotamus.
My lyrics are bottomless.
Oh my god!
I love how he just stops
and
after
he
that.
doesn't stop there. He doesn't finish the rap. Oh my god.
Yes.
Chris says that game is a futuristic blood sport in the Infinity Universe on an hexagonal hex board.
Oh, okay.
It looks pretty cool.
It's just so bizarre looking at all of these things. Like
that is straight up Hellboy.
It is straight up Hellboy. It like there is no ifs, buts, or maybes. This is just Hellboy, right? And he's Hellboy wearing a clock.
Is it a clock? No, it's some sort of a medallion.
I've got no idea.
Is it a medal, actually? Genuine Vision, very Hellboy, yummy reds.
Yeah, the reds are
yummy
nice. But see, you know, when I looked at this guy, I thought that he looked very much like one of the Overwatch characters.
Yeah.
The Jamaican guy. My brother Connor loved to play him. He'd always go, "Oh yeah."
Is that something he says all the time?
Yeah.
But the pose
let's pump it up. And like, I can't remember the actual name of the character, but I remember all of his taunts. So dumb. How can I not remember the name of the character? But yeah, no, I think he looks really good.
Oh wow, look at this one.
Yeah, this one just looks straight up like a Spire from Necromunda.
But it looks the most Corvus Belly, that one.
So I like that one. Reminds me of. I can't. Dalsim.
Dalsim.
I don't. Does he look like Dalsim?
I don't know Dalsim. I don't know these
Dalsim's the Indian yogi who has the skulls on his thing. Just write Street Fight. Yeah, Dalsim. Yeah, that's.
I've never seen this man.
Yeah, but yeah.
But yeah, definitely one of those yogi types.
But like when you look, like these characters don't seem like they belong together at all. Like they've got really distinctive character design.
This one looks like something out of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I mean. So like, you've got this guy, and you've got
You've got Overwatch. You've got Hellboy. You've got
like it
Hercules.
seems like this lady, and that current guy that we're on. This one seem like they're from a completely different miniatures range to everything else.
Yeah.
You know? It's so weird.
It's really weird.
But I look at this one and I'm like, I know.
If you could go back to the fantasy
Which
the
fan?
Zelda guy. Okay, I think here needs to be blended.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. But I think all of these are works in progress. But I think we should probably
move
move on,
on.
considering the number of ones that we've got. But hello, Genuine Vision. We hope that you enjoy. But we do see that you don't love us and
No
don't write.
commentary, no description.
All right. So next up, we've got John Gass.
Gass.
See, I thought John Gass was Penguin, but Penguin is a different John.
It's John Ross, and it's no H as well.
What?
It's just John.
Oh, John.
It's not John. It's John.
Okay. No, I don't. All right. So, would you
Working
like to read
on
it?
a
That
madle?
looks really nice.
What's a madle, honey? A maddle?
I don't know. My
a
brain.
maddle for a friend, and I'm looking for ways to
a
make.
model. It just autocorrected.
Oh. Wouldn't it autocorrect?
I don't know why.
Okay, never mind. For ways to make the black stand out more, I've only done the shoulder and plasma gun casing so far. Update adding a picture of it further along. I'm not happy with the candles yet, but overall, I think it's coming along nicely.
It is definitely coming along. You definitely want a sort of whitish grayish base to help it pop off the base. Because he's like, how do I make it stand out a bit more? So, for example, take a look at the way that we've got some of our concrete. So do a fairly bright concrete sort of rubble area, right? And did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. Don't know what's going on.
Should I check?
Probably Freddy.
Oh, it is probably Freddy. Freddy is the possum. Just so people know.
Or his sister Francine.
It's either sister or daughter or missus.
Who knows?
We don't know. We cannot keep up with the genealogy of possums.
Yes.
Anyway, so long story short, essentially I think it is coming along very well. I really like what you've been doing here. Obviously it's not all finished yet, but I do really think once you do the base, you're going to feel a lot better. I think doing it up in a concrete style will really help a great deal, because if you do that, you'll have a very strong level of contrast.
Is that an atomic you-know-what in the base?
Yeah, I do believe it is. I don't know for sure, but we should move on.
Oh my.
We still have so many left.
That's She-Ra.
I don't know.
It looks like She-Ra. Anyway, Larry say,
yep.
Throwback Thursday, back to the 80s.
Back to the 80s.
Grenadier Frost Giants published.
We should probably have a music bit for that. Just wow.
The Frost Giants published 1985. I forget when I did them, but it was late 80s. Figured I showed my most recent giants, so I should post the first ones. At the time, I was really happy with the skin and hair colors and textures, and I think it was one of the first times I tried dry brushing. I knew nothing of basing at the time, so I just painted their platforms. They're all one piece, white for snow. Edit. You find a little more info on the figure setup at this link under 3503 Frost Giants.
Well, since this is a Throwback Thursday, I think we'll just move on from this one. I will say, I think
something about it.
Well, you can say something about it,
I think it's very clean. I like the lady the most because of the skin color.
Oh, yeah.
Looks so natural. As the Frost Giant guy looks like very pale but understandable. It could have used a little bit more fading.
But this is a throwback, so it's he has come a long way since then. All right, so next up, would you like to? Oh no, something gone wrong? Okay, good. I think it's gone wrong.
What's the matter?
What do you mean? What's the matter? It's time for you to do reading.
No, it's your name. You've got to read it. I've been reading all your posts, you cheater.
All right. Well, just so you know, I'm cheating on Sunny.
Cheating McFarland.
With the posts.
Cheater McFarland.
You don't even know what you're saying anymore.
Then you're a cheater.
All right. It's Throwback Thursday. # Throwback Thursday. the City Fight project. So the project is complete. There are some new items here, but this is the terrain project for this week, coming out on Sunday. We hope that it will be all done today for YouTube members, which it was. Hooray!
Was it not technically? It still became Friday.
Oh, yeah, I guess, because we had it finished at 12, but then we had to do all of the back-end nonsense.
We had to get it to export and then do
anyway,
more.
we'll move on.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right. We have had a lot going on, so here they are in order. You have every piece of terrain you currently can have in 10th edition. Craters and rubble, battlefield debris, hills and sealed structures, woods, ruins. Please enjoy all of the pictures on one singular post, and we'll be using this for our own reference from now on.
Didn't have pipes.
Oh.
And the rubble.
No, the rubble's there.
Yeah, but we did fill pipe.
But yeah, thank you so much for giving your support along the way, and of course, feel free to show off your Throwback Thursdays. So I think that everything came up really well, and I think this is why I didn't think that previous one was a shot, because we didn't have this with all the dust going into the cracks and such. I think it has such a different effect once you dust the thing.
It looks like a real...
Yeah, it does. I think that it looks very nice. It is very monotone, but when...
I mean, it's a building.
Yeah, but when we put them on the City Fight things, they did look as if they fit in very well.
Very well, yeah.
Very well.
Looked great.
And these hills, I think, have come up very well. Because you're like, I don't want any greenery on them. I don't want any static grass, anything, because what was it that you said about them?
I thought they could look like a mining area.
No. What was it that you said about this?
Oh, because I kept seeing these old Warhammer pictures. Sometimes I see Warhammer players in the shops, and they're not playing at the Warhammer store. They've got these rolling green hills, and I'm just like, how is this Warhammer? You know, where's the grim dark?
Oh yeah, because everything was so bright and vibrant.
It was green to no end, and it was just like rolling fields, and I'm like, okay. Complete contradiction to the lore, why don't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was more fitting.
Well, I think I'm pretty happy with how the sealed structures came up. I think adding the dust to them really helped, but I do think that it might have had a bit of a negative impact on the rust on the doors. Oh, because like they look a bit spotted now. So
I think it looks cool.
Okay, all right. Well, that's
looks realistic. But there's a borrow mouse.
Why you borrow a mouse?
I want to borrow the mouse.
We'll
there
never
were
get it
parts of the sprue where it was this circular bit, but it had a bit of a outer ring to it, and I thought we could have cut those up and made them into little light bulbs.
Oh,
that's
okay.
what I was trying to tell you that day. Like, I wanted to cut that out and make it like little lights.
I think that the trees came up really
the
well.
trees are so good.
I think the trees and the tree bases, like, I'm very happy
Spot
with
on.
this.
But I think we needed to make it a lot bigger if we want.
No, because this is how big the tree bases should be in the game. And remember, you can just put them together if you want a larger area. You know, like that's all you have to do. But yeah, those were 2 additional tree bases we made. Here are the trees we made, and I think they came up absolutely fantastically.
Yeah, I think the best part of it is just like quite easy to get a lot of these results, because it's like you just step outside, grab a weed, you know,
Yes.
put
Well,
it in
it has
the
to
oven.
be a hardy
It's
weed.
gotta like something
Can't be
woody.
just like a soft weed.
Or like even tree branches, the twigs.
Yes. But yeah.
We're probably getting ahead of ourselves.
Anyway, guys, feel free to comment on all of this and tell us what you think, because that's very important to us. That you guys have that opportunity to comment on our stuff, because
Penguins say he liked the tree. They have a creepy vibe. I agree.
yeah, well, I mean, like, if your whole city's been bombed out, you know, your trees probably won't look the best, will they?
Yeah.
They were literally run over by a lawnmower or a slasher, respectively. So that's probably why they look so quote unquote creepy. All right. So next up, we've got Lance. Would you like to read out for Lance?
Switching up the color palette.
Color.
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably autocorrect again.
Say something about this fashionable guy. Very fashionable indeed. He's rocking purple abs for sure.
Are they
barely
abs?
Dressed?
He's going to the bone zone because he's got bones all throughout his stuff. Like, yeah, I'm down to bone. By that, I mean,
don't.
It's true. He is. He's down to bone.
We have switched roles today. You're the one making inappropriate jokes today.
Well, I prefer it this way because when you start making inappropriate jokes, you go way too far.
Oh, please. Oh, here, honey. I pat your back.
I seem to
Drink
have
some
something stuck in my throat.
Water.
I think it's memories of the past.
I do like the green hair complements the purple.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's Barney.
Barney the dinosaur?
Barney the dinosaur. He's green and purple.
It
reminded me of something, and I was like, oh no,
I
it's
think
Barney.
this green here is meant to be a sort of sludgy swamp, but
Yeah.
I think with that, you just want to hit it with some gloss.
Yeah, like sometimes you got like small bottles of like varnish.
Yeah.
You just put a little bit on there and just use a brush.
Yeah.
Get some.
That's all I'm talking about. Nothing too crazy.
But other than that,
I feel like we've been going for so long. There's
Look
so
at
many.
There's still more tabs. So many tabs.
But we've gotten through quite a few of them. It feels like there is way many.
A million. Oh, look at this
1,
guy.
2, 3,
It's 8, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Only 14 left.
Yeah.
Plus, totally nobody's going to have added some.
Afterwards. Yeah. Anyhow, Jason Tate.
Yes.
Now, where is he anyway? He's not here today.
He's gone away. He no longer loves us.
No.
Because you can't keep it together.
Deep in the hole. Home.
What?
/ kitchen renovation.
Huh?
That's what he said.
This guy's not in a kitchen renovation.
Once I started painting, it'll count as terrain, correct? But missing out on participating here in WAYPN, so please have a Throwback Thursday post in lieu of whips. A couple of brutes from the board game, a bard sung, a cave shark and an ogre. Both were painted to what at the time was my tabletop plus level. Oh, okay. They are not the usual chafe, so I wanted them wanted them to make something of an impact should they appear. I wish all the minis in the game were as well sculpted / molded as these as there were several that the details were very soft and disappointing, even more frustratingly, particularly the heads / facial features.
Oh, these two look great.
Yeah.
They look really good, but it is a Throwback Thursday one, so we won't spend too long on it. But all I'll say is they both look fantastic. I mean, we can see a bit of a line here on that model, but I mean, like, whatever.
He's done very well for him.
Yeah.
Tabletop level.
I would
Can
be
you
very
even
happy.
consider this tabletop? I mean...
Yeah, no, he did say tabletop plus, so it's almost character level. So next up we have
Gareth Higgins.
And he is scavening it up.
He's skaven tiding upon us in Age of Sigmar. But where did the skaven begin? Many moons ago, I painted an original grey seer on Screaming Bell. Don't go back and look at the rules for it. They were dark and exceptionally violent times. That's what he said.
Well, would you like to comment on this so that I don't explode?
Sure. Whatever that means.
It means I have to step out for a moment.
Okay, so...
Just don't, guys, trust me, just don't let her do anything
crazy.
Can I
have the mouse?
I'm giving her the mouse, so this could be dangerous territory.
I feel that this has a very classic GW painting style. I'm not sure which year, but like I feel like this is something W, because you've done a very good job there. Very lovely contrast, especially with the runes on the knife, the blade, the greens, the shading. Everything is so perfect. Who is this? Is it Gareth? That's right, Gareth. Lord Gareth doing the great painting. Let us move on to the next one. Oh, look at this angle. Clearly, a lot of effort has been put in. And, for something that is quite muted, he done a very good job, like, with the greens to bring out the contrast. And I think he's done a great job with that hilt. It's got that nice sort of gem-like effect. And this one's done very well, too, with that very... the metal looks quite... Can I say ancient? It's not quite ancient. It's very beat up. Very somewhat industrial, and everything's just so neat and tidy and very clean, and the basing is excellent as well. There's not much I would say for in terms of improvement.
Well, as I have returned, it is probably time to move on.
Okay.
All
You
right.
closed the wrong tab. Oh, okay. Look at this guy.
All right, would you like to read out?
Yeah, sure. Larry.
It's Larry has a flu.
Larry has many things to say.
He does. Have any people said anything else?
No. Spoopy little guy.
Indeed.
Added some fluorescent to make the base by looking at him upside down and painting vertically away from the feet so I wouldn't hit what wasn't directly hitting him. Then a little extra for a touch of overglow, but I'm afraid of making it too strong. Any suggestions? OSL isn't usually a strong point of mine. Still need to touch up the face properly with highlight. Right now, it's just a coat of green Speed Paint 2.0. Also need to do touch-ups on the wrappings, but gonna keep them dirty looking.
I really feel like... So, I think with some of these things, it's the fluorescent paint. So, I feel like with this, when you see here and along here, I feel like they're the fluorescent paints. And I think we have to see this in the dark version as well, rather than just as he is right now.
Yeah.
Because unless we see it like that, we won't be able to judge very well.
Indeed.
So I think based off what he's looking like right now, he just looks tabletop. But let's see him in the dark. Let's see how things are looking. And then I think we'll have a better place on which to judge you. Judge it, rather. Alright, next up we have...
Jean Ross. I built the ruined farmhouse from the bolt action starter set as a terrain piece and got to refine my diorama skills at the same time.
it looks
good.
It looks nice, yeah.
But poor farmhouse.
Yeah, it does. It looks like exactly what it says on the tin. Looks like a farmhouse that got bombed out years ago, and it's like the only thing that I would comment on is the timber looks too clean. So no scorch marks, no.
It's gotta have some blackening.
Yeah, just some stuff like that. The other thing I might do is with this, either have that very sort of dusty, or have like just nature trying to squeeze its way in. So like have like a tuft coming out of some of the cracks or something like that. But other than that, I think it's 100% spot on, perfect. I really like it. Could give a bit more definition by putting some wash on these bricks, right? And then just cleaning it off with, say, just a bit of sponge or something, just so that there's something there. But I think it all looks great. I like that rusting coming off this, whatever it is. Little sign, I think. But yeah, I think it looks good. There's nothing I look there and I'm like, oh, that definitely needs to be fixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So moving on.
Moving on, we've got Peter, and
Ah,
we haven't
yes.
seen him in
Yes, we have
ages.
not. I do believe I commented on a later post of his just that exact thing.
Started a new Blood Bowl team, Gnomes, used an Agrax wash to bring out all the detail, and then built up thin washed layers of color and some highlighting to finish.
Mm-hmm.
I think this turned out so great.
Yeah,
These
it
are like
looks
a
like a
fox.
mechanical fox with one of these.
Yeah, it's a mechanical fox.
And a regular fox?
No, the other one's also somewhat of a mechanical.
Oh, are they? They're both mechanical foxes.
Yeah, but like, the other one's made of wood or something.
I'm not sure.
This looks so good. Like, look at the shading. I think he's tried for a non-metallic metal.
Maybe.
And I think it turned out really good.
Yeah, they do.
Very colorful. But
I love the flowers and stuff. Like they're a very interesting base. You wouldn't spot these as a Blood Bowl team though by how they are, except for the balls.
Very fairy tale-y, huh?
Yes, very fairy tale-y with the way they are. But they are gnomes, so to be fair. But yeah, also I feel like the basing's a bit different because you see that black border and it's a very deliberate black border. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I like that when they go to the edges, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Like they look so interesting, but I do believe he's done up other stuff later on. So let us continue on a little further. All right, so next up, it's the Joe R. Sutton adventure, the one that we've been waiting for. So remember, this is where he's turning his tricks into the 30k army, I believe.
Into a Demons of the Ruined Storm.
Yeah, that's a 30k thing. Yeah.
Turning casters and the big thing into something else with very subtle conversion. If you don't know the models, you won't see them, but most of the army is just a rebase, and I finished painting this lot on 16th of July. Pretty happy with the army and how it's turned out in its grimdark style.
I feel like these guys really should have Vastor as their leader. What are you doing? Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, like I take a look at all of this, I really feel like Vastor would be.
Who's Vastor? I keep hearing this name.
Let me find it on the other thing. And
No, just describe what he is.
It's very hard to describe Vastor.
Oh, okay.
But Joe, would you like to tell us anything about your particular project before we move on? Because one of the things I love is these rust effects. Let's take a look at these rust effects. Would you like to comment on the rust effects?
It's very different from how we'd approach the rust effects. And I think it looks very realistic, like how the paint is almost sort of worn down. Like, you know when your car gets scratched and then you've got the metal showing underneath?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yes, I would 100% agree with that. I've got some of these things over here, but I'm going to just move on a bit so that you can comment on these ones while I grab him.
Oh yeah, I've seen this model.
Yeah, so
I think it's so 100%. Is that Vastor himself? No.
No. So this is what Vastor looks. So I think Vastor looks very interesting. I like Vastor.
Definitely a nightmare to...
Yes, it would be.
But then again, KDM has had some pretty nightmarish.
Yeah, but this isn't KDM. This is another one as well, which is War Machine.
Oh, War Machine.
Yes. That's where the cricks come from. But I think when I take a look at these, I think that they've come up very well. So Sunny's just going to be taking a break for a minute. So if it's just me, do not worry. Sunny's coming back. Or at least that's what she told me. She told me she'd come back to me. Just note this down, guys. 7/19. Friday the 19th, July 2024. This is the now play the sad violin music. Well, as you can see, I'm not tired at all, and I haven't lost my mind. But yeah, I think it looks looks really good. Like, cause this I would say is the only guy I feel looks out of place with the rest of it. Everything else feels quite cohesive, as if they all belong to the same thing. But I know that guy is meant to be your caster in the other game, and I feel like that's why he doesn't fit compared to these guys. Like, these all feel like monstrous nightmares that have come from another age, right? Or another world. Um, but when I look at that one caster, I just think to myself, you know what? He doesn't fit at all. I look at him and everyone else except this guy just all comes together beautifully. I just feel like maybe because he's floating above everything else, but I don't think it's that. I just think that he feels so out of place compared to everyone else. But unfortunately, I think we have to move on, Joe. So I will return. So I'll keep this one open. We'll scroll up to the next one. It's Peter. All right. More Cutimals. All right. I love these models too. They are from the same brand as the Tomb Kings I painted last year. Same as my gnomes. Agrax to find the details, then thin shades to brighten up some edge highlights. Okay. Colors give a very John Blanche feel. I do believe that's in reference to these ones, right? I have no idea how to say your name. Thanks for the feedback on my submission. Greatly appreciate your time and input. No problem. But yeah, like I would say, yeah, they do look very. I want to find there's one guy in particular which I feel like that feels like I think it's this guy here feels very John Blanchy, because like there's all of these sort of very bulbous things. This guy sort of just sticking on the front. Like why do you design things in such a way it makes no sense? But yeah. All right. So back to Peter. To find the details, then thin shades built up with some edge highlighting. So here we are with the Cutimals. I very much love the vibrancy of the colors here. The vibrancy of the colors are really pushed. I like the way that he's done the eyes. They're very sort of cartoonish. I'm going to go back because... Okay, so I started with a black wash base, dark brown overbrush, and an orange brown dry brush, then a dark silver dry brush. Are we talking about with how you got your rust effects, Joe? Okay, I'm gonna move back to the other one while Joe's typing. It's just very classic, the whole thing. It'll be interesting to see how they're based. But yeah, it looks like this is going to be the Slan team or the Lizard Man team. All things depending. But we will soon see how they go. I do believe it's going to be the Lizard Man team because that looks like the Krogoxor. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. But it's good to see him painting again. I think that this looks great. I like the greenish to join the blue to the green so that it's not so stark. But it also fits within that, what do we call it? Extended analogous theme. So very nicely done. All right, moving on. Okay, there's some more commentary by Joe. Then I added some chipping medium to the flat armor areas and stippled on a bone color. Oh, okay. So he stippled on the bone color and then pulled those colors out from underneath. Okay. So next up, we have Alex Go. All right. Okay, so Joe said, yes, the models are rushed. You wouldn't believe that these models are rushed, judging by how they look. I think that they look absolutely fantastic. Sorry. Yeah. The rusted. Yes. Yes, they are rusted. Sorry, I thought you said rushed. Okay, next up, we've got Alex Go. I'm really enjoying painting these Skaven. They are the army that I would have collected if I had the money to spend as a kid. The sculpts are extremely painter friendly. 10 out of 10 do recommend. But I'm painting these to a semi-high tabletop standard. There are 40 of these to get through, so I'm not spending too much time on each one. Take a look. This is a very interesting effect that he's gone for with the flag. I really like the look of that. And as for, like, I understand that this was done with some sort of wash or contrast here with the fabric on this lower area, but I think that it looks really good. Yes, I also really like the texture with the banner. You are 100% spot on. I think that looks really nice. Is that a tiny fat rat next to him?
It's so funny because the other guy looks so skinned and flayed, and then he's got a fat rat.
But yeah, just taking a look, like the purple skin is really interesting, but I feel like it clashes so much with this previous go with the more, I guess it's not naturalistic colors because it's quite pink. Colors are quite flamboyant, aren't they? Oh, this guy looks almost like Master Splinter.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with the red sash and all of that, like an evil Master Splinter.
Does look a bit that way.
But yeah, he's gone for a very flamboyant color scheme. It's very interesting. No?
And this is Skaven as well.
Yeah, this is Skaven. Alex has been working on these.
It's very unlike Alex to go for such a bold color scheme on something that's meant to be natural.
Yeah, well, Alex tends towards more like realistic sort of things.
Yeah.
Like especially when we had him on for the episode, like his one seemed like so chipped and damaged and interesting. Like it was heightened reality, but it wasn't like this at all, you know.
Yeah,
it wasn't...
like it's nice to see because it's a very complete change in direction. And
I guess he was trying to find his
style. Oh. Well, go outside the comfort zone.
Yeah, no, I think it looks absolutely fantastic because it's so different, and like that's one of the things you should try different styles.
Well, he says not for these boys. I want vibrant shade.
Okay, yeah.
And Terraforming says, which is Joe.
Yep.
Once the bone is dry, I used a wet brush to remove that color. Once that's done, then I satin varnish them, paint golds, bones, and skins.
I see. Well, yep. So he's talking about this one. So I've left that one up. All right. Next up, we have Lance Davenport. Could you read him out, please?
Oh, did we miss Peter? Oh yeah.
I read for Peter.
Lance. Keeping the troops on their toes, pretty much plain Jane paint work, but still fun to work on.
Well, you know,
Oh, this looks like a harbinger, right?
So this is a null, and the harbingers are nulls. So taking a look at this, I'm really proud of how far Lance has come with his basing. Because do you remember how his basing used to be very, you'll excuse the pun, basic. But now see, he's got this little bit of rock here, some gravel, some more sort of foliage, and then some tufts of grass. It's not complicated. It's not crazy. But dang, does it look fantastic.
Yeah, it really frames the model.
Yeah. I think that, obviously, like he said, the paint job isn't the best thing in the world. but I really like what he's done here.
Me
Yeah.
too, yeah. It's so clean.
Yeah, and it does exactly what it's meant to do. It's tabletop. There's not a lot of highlights and all of that sort of thing. Does what it's meant to do.
Yeah, it does.
Would you like to read out that comment from Joe?
Yeah, added streaking grime to the whole model, then used a kitchen towel to remove it after.
Yeah, no. It looks really good. Apparently this was rushed, or I might be misreading and it was just rusted. Oh my god. Face. Alright, would you like to read out the next one?
She's got a great outlook in life.
Oh, she's going places, that's for sure.
Andy say, this evening's work. This is Antonia, the noonday witch from Moonstone. Need to refine the eyes to be a bit less manic, but good progress made.
I don't know. I think you can just leave
I feel
the
like
eyes.
The manic look
yeah.
adds to the witch.
Oh my god, she does
oh
look.
Oh my god.
She's just like
another child for the Alvand.
Yeah.
Something like it. She's eating good. She's eating good, this lady.
Yeah, she's doing well, but
must be Friar, what's his name's wife? You remember Friar?
Yes, but I don't know if this is meant to be.
I think that's an accidental mistake.
But like it kind of looks like an off
like a staining on her apron.
No. It almost looks like a love heart.
Oh my god, it does look like a love heart.
And that'd be hilarious if she just has a little love heart on her little apron thing there. And I know it's just a little stain, but still, I just think that would be absolutely fantastic. Just this lady with a little love heart on her thing right here, and it just be, like, oh god, I will die here.
Goodbye, lady.
I will die here on Armageddon.
Oh, definitely. She's got her pots and stews. She's looking to cook up some chitlin.
Yes, some H along. But yeah, no.
Oh my god. The next is Thomas.
Alright.
Today,
so blue.
I started a new dreadnought. Base coat seems to be done, but a few fixes are needed. Ballistas supposed to be fairly recent thing, so I'll have to really, and I mean really, hold back with weathering this time.
He really does love his weathering. But the blue comes in quite nicely, but it does look quite textured.
I don't mind. I think it's just a very nice stylistic little
it's definitely a stylistic choice, but yeah, it does come in quite textured the way that it's done up.
It looks
like a
lot
of
jeans.
Sponging. Would you like to read out what Joe has said?
Yeah, the Seraphim Sepia, the Seraphim shade, and some dirty down rust in very small amounts to enhance everything. I'm done. Still all the bases to do, both.
Yeah, so rusted and rushed. So, both. Alright, so I think it looks good. It's a work in progress. As far as work in progresses go.
Fantastic.
Yes, exactly. Also, I find it very interesting that he can manage to keep the same sort of effect. I know he's taped it right, but I mean, it seems in a very similar style, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't seem separate at all.
Maybe he textured the surface and then he painted it.
I'm not sure.
Larry! So here's where I am with these guys. I've touched up the bases a bit, but haven't focused on them here as I did a little earlier back. Added some wet effect to them all. I used a larger brush with a very good point to do it, but based on a video I saw a bit ago, I probably should have used something much smaller, like a 3/0, but oh well. The concept is these guys are fighting in the rain. Hopefully the pictures convey some of all of this. I put in some little pooling areas on flatter parts like the helmet backs and where there would be a greater flow, but some streaks down other areas like the edges of the legs and little streams of water, and tried stimulating drop spots by putting dots, flicking off a brush. and also slightly dabbing with a dry brush. But the last two either didn't go great or it's small enough I can't see it against the lighter colors. Good practice and food for learning. Regardless, you can see some of the battle damage, etc. But yeah, I think we should probably commentary.
I've just been racking my brain here on how to make a sort of rain effect, and I was just like, you know what, I should look it up. But I was thinking about like having little tufts of cotton.
I think for white, you can do like a really watered down gray and just have it sort of drip down, right?
No.
You
So
gotta draw it on.
I was thinking with the base, because that's where you'd be
Oh,
able to
that's the
show it, right? Just like imagine like hundreds of raindrops hammering in, right? And I was just trying to think now, how could you do that? But
not
sorry,
too sure. But I'm thinking about it from a model perspective. He can do that as well with like gray streaks first, and then go in with a white to dot at the ends to make it look like that reflection of the water.
I do believe this was for the Dreadnought, and it says 100% dry brush. When it's stippled, it's a very visible texture.
Yeah.
But the texture was fairly visible with the Dreadnought,
I
wasn't it?
think that you can feel.
I'm not sure. But yeah, so with these guys, I do agree with you. I don't think that the water's showing up as much on the models. And I feel I'm very frustrated because I don't feel like I can give decent advice to Larry here, right? Because he's trying for something. He's going for something 100%. But what do you...
Well,
What
if
do you
it's
do? What advice do you give, sort of thing? If you follow what I'm saying.
well, where water drops, that patch will be darker as well.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
you did
But
like
I mean,
lots of sort of
but
darker
we
patches.
gotta also remember the rule of verisimilitude. You're not trying for reality. You're trying for the feeling of reality, right? And will that come off? Will that having a
Probably
slight...
not.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of my point. So, Larry, I'm sorry, but we don't have any good advice for you right now. So, I think you got to admit when you can't help, you can't help. Guys, if you know any ways to get the idea of somebody being in the rain on a miniature, let us know, because at the moment I'm blanking. So Genuine Vision is the only person who I can think
Unless he uses like water gel and just does dot 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 dot.
I've got no idea how to
Because
do it.
on metal it would not stick. It will drip down and it will have those small repelling waters.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and that this would have the repelling effect, but I don't know how it would look. But anyway, let us move on. All right, so next up we have... Oh, yes, I remembered this. This was
it's
more...
Larry's quote.
All right, would you like to read it out, including the quote, please?
Okay, not a mini, but seemed appropriate. Keep those brushes wet. Saw it just now on a harder and Steenbeck Instagram post. If you hear a voice within you say you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will.
Yeah, no, I felt like I really liked this quote, because the thing is, a lot of us get really sort of demotivated because we see somebody better than us. We don't think we've gotten enough progress in that amount of time, so on and so on and so on. So I think just paint is saying, then you'll see that you're paint.
Yeah.
All right, so we're up to
José.
which is now the second last. Yes, the second last, because Alex has posted something for
Another
us.
Skaven for
Yeah.
us. Oh, working on my 2 copies of Skullbreaker for God tier. Red Cloak version came painted, but I'm painting over it so he matches the rest of his. Yeah, and I think he's doing a good job. It's looking pretty unified.
Yeah, it is looking very unified, and it's an interesting look, isn't it?
Look in the orc.
Yeah, but I mean, like with the bone, the green, the red, you know, and it's a more reddish rather than brownish leather.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know what color. Oh, it looks like these are going to be painted red, maybe,
Maybe, I'm not sure. We'll
because
have to see
this
the
is
whip.
red in the background. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. But I think they're looking pretty dang
But
good.
I think he's got the eyes googled again.
Oh,
The guy at the back.
oh yes, I can see it from here now. Let's see.
Oh,
Is it
oh,
the goofy eyes?
they googled. They've been
Oh
googled.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's too big.
Yes.
I'll
All right. So and finally, we've got Alex Co. Quick live stream whip. Would you like to read?
have to refresh it.
How dare you?
Yeah. Quick, the live stream whip. I'm going for really vibrant shadows. I am really inspired by what Ninjon is doing with his Skaven.
I haven't seen.
The skin tones will be varied throughout the entire army, repeating 5 or 6 skin tones. The purple is the most out there tone, but it'll blend in once. There are 40 of these clan rats. The unifying factor is the clothes, which will be the same blues, reds, and yellows among them all. Will be very interesting.
It looks like rotted, yeah, underneath like some very matted fur. Like I have unfortunately seen animals that look like this. Sometimes nature is not so fun. They don't treat their.
Nature is.
It's a plague rat, says Creative Man. Yeah. So well, you you've
Definitely shown the plaguiness of the rat.
yes, I would say so. It having seen them live, yeah, I'd say that works as a plague rat. But I'm gonna hit the refresh button, and I think that's it for now. So, well, guys, I'd really like to say I think you've absolutely smashed it because wow. Almost
posts
50 posts this week.
It's insane.
Yes, there is a lot of posts, and guys, feel free to give criticism to us when we put up stuff, because that's the whole thing. We would really like it if you did that, because it's very important to be in a position where you are able to take that same sort of feedback as you're giving to people, because if you can't, you're sort of putting yourself in a holier than thou position, and that's never a good idea.
No.
But
and like WAYPN's for us too, you know.
Yeah, it is for us too, and like we'd like to get feedback, because when I did this project, because we're going to be putting this up on YouTube, how to make all of these things. And yes, they're not the most exciting bits of terrain, but that's not what they were designed for. They were designed to be
the type of terrain the average Joe would be interested in doing,
and very quick and easy.
Yeah.
And see, the thing is that is just so easy to do.
It is. It was very
All
easy.
of these are ridiculously easy to do. They're not hard. And I think a lot of people they get themselves sort of in a tizzy with some of these things. So don't worry about it, guys. It's okay. You know, you don't have to worry about making the best terrain in the world. Just so long as it's coherent and there's something to fight over.
Yeah.
Because that's all you need. And people aren't going to be focusing on the terrain as much. But I think that's pretty much it from us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It was really interesting because we had quite a few people join us for this stream. So thank you for joining us. And as always, Keep those brushes wet.